Corrupt officials and worst abusers of human rights will finally be banned from entering Australia or investing here, with new sanctioning laws set to sail through the House of Representatives today. The legislation passed the Senate with unanimous support late yesterday, and in a world first for these type of laws, will also ensnare malicious cyber hackers. Based on similar laws in the US, UK and EU, they're most commonly known as Magnitsky laws, named after the Russian whistleblower Sergei Magnitsky, who was tortured and killed in prison. David Lipson reports.
In the dead of night in London, a bedroom light will be burning as one man checks in on today's Australian parliamentary proceedings.
Fingers and toes crossed, and I'll be looking at my phone in the middle of the night.
Bill Browder, a businessman come human rights crusader, is the man behind the Magnitsky Act, passed in the US in 2012 and now a global force of reckoning against the worst of humanity.
It's probably the most powerful piece of human rights legislation ever passed anywhere, and now we have it in Australia.
It was named after his former colleague, Sergei Magnitsky, who uncovered a massive tax fraud by senior officials in Russia. For that, he was imprisoned, tortured, and in 2009 beaten to death. Since then, Bill Browder has committed his life to ensuring those responsible and others like them around the world no longer get off scot-free.
We came up with this idea, which is that if we could freeze their assets and ban their travel, it wouldn't be true justice in the way I'd really like it, but it would be much, much better than the total impunity that all of these people currently enjoy. And surprisingly, this is an extremely sensitive area for most of these people. For them to be stuck in their home countries, not being able to spend their ill-gotten gains, not being able to travel, is a real punishment that they all fear.
For 6 years, he's been lobbying Australian politicians to join the fight. And today it's finally going to happen, after legislation sailed through the Senate late yesterday without a single opponent.
It's very rare that something quite substantive like this, quite dramatic like this, passes unanimously.
Australia may be late to the game, the 34th country to impose Magnitsky-style laws, but Liberal Senator James Paterson says this legislation goes further than any other, capturing cyber criminals as well.
We've broadened it and made it as much a human rights tool as a national security tool, and it will hopefully allow us to add to the deterrent effect that we already have. We already name and shame countries when we can prove that they've engaged in cyber attacks, and that is one powerful deterrent. But if the officials who are coordinating these attacks and propagating them against us know that they might suffer personal financial consequences for doing so, I think they'll even be further discouraged from doing it.
Labor Senator Kimberley Kitching has the wall for Bill Browder, who now has his sights set on Japan and New Zealand.
The move in Australia should be a catalyst for them to finally get themselves into motion and do the right thing.
That's Bill Browder, the head of the Magnitsky Global Justice Campaign. David Lipson reporting there.